Hi everyone, Justin here from the Bill Coors Wellness Center, coming at you with your Wednesday stretch and mobility break. For today's stretch and mobility break, I wanted to give you 5 more seated full body mobility exercises that you can do to help loosen up your joints, increase range of motion, possibly decrease some aches and pains that you're feeling from holding static positions. This is something that you can do anywhere that you can take a seat for 5, maybe 10 minutes. So that could be at work, that could be during lunch, that could be at home. However you slice it, there's really no excuse for you not to be able to do these exercises just about anywhere. So with that said, we're going to roll through 5 different mobility exercises that are going to hit all different areas of the body. And we're going to start with the rotational reach, which is going to help stretch out our rhomboids, which are the muscles between our shoulder blades. So what we're going to do is we're going to cross. If you follow along with me, we're going to cross. Hands over the shoulders. We're going to apply a little bit of pressure, but we're not going to grab. And then from here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actively crunch. So I'm going to tighten my belly, draw my elbows towards my ribs. Then I'm going to turn. So in this instance, I'm turning to my right. So I'm going to take my right elbow. I'm going to try to get it to the hip. And then from here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the left hand and stretch it out. A couple big deep breaths here, maybe 2 or 3. Every one you can reach. And then you come back to the start. Same thing on the other side, crunch down. We're going to rotate right elbow to left hip now. And then we're going to bring that right hand out, reach with it. 2 big breaths. And then back to the start. So that's 1 on each side. We're shooting for 5. So again, crunch, rotate, straighten out. 1 breath. 2 breaths. Back to the start. Same thing on the other side. Crunch down. Right elbow to left hip. Thread that out. Reach. Back to the start. Same thing. Going for 3 this time. On the left. Notice we're going nice and slow here. We're not rushing anything. I'm going to breathe into that. Use that breath to help you extend further. We're going for 4 on the left side now. Remember, don't relax that belly here. You want to keep those abs contracted as you're reaching. And let's do our last one. Rotating towards the left, outstretching the right arm. And then shake it all out. Next, we're going to move to a seated swimmer. So we're going to start with hands behind the head in a prisoner situation here. And then what I want to do is I first want to make sure that my rib cage does not flare as I do this. So I'm going to keep a tight brace. It doesn't have to be super tight, but it should be definitely tight enough for you to feel some activation there in your abs, and so that your rib cage doesn't flare and we don't hyperextend through the back. So from here, hands behind your head. We're going to relax the elbows. We're going to extend them, squeezing between the shoulder blades, keeping the belly tight. Then we're going to come up into a Y, and then we're coming back, rotating to behind me. Hands can come, rest on the lower back. Then we're going to retrace by coming up, away from the low back, retracing our steps into that A, coming up over our head for the Y, and then back. So that's 1. We're shooting for 5. Again, relax the elbows, keep the belly tight, separate the elbows, squeeze between the shoulder blades, raise up for a Y, rotate those wrists around into a handcuff position behind you. Again, relax the elbows, draw them back, hands away from the low back, A, raising up for the Y, back to behind the head. Again, relax, extend, Y, coming around for the third one, relaxing the elbows, extending them again, A, raising over for the Y, back to the start. We got two more, relax those elbows, extend the elbows for a Y, rotate around to behind the back, rest for a second, extend, A, coming back up, behind the head. We got one more, relax, draw those elbows apart, keep your belly tight, Y, coming back around. I know it's burning now, stay with me, we're almost there. Relax those shoulders, stay upright, extend, A, rotate around, back to the start. Shake that one out. That one definitely gets everything burning. That's a great one to improve our shoulder range of motion. And then we're going to move into a hip car to hinge. We're going to shoot for 5 on each side, alternating. CAR just stands for controlled articular rotation. So we're trying to move our hip through its active range of motion. And so what that's going to look like is we're going to start with one leg. You're here, you're seated upright. Stay kind of braced with your belly. We're going to take one leg, we're going to kick it out, we're going to extend it, and then we're going to try to raise it as high as we can, hopefully able to get it to our leg that is down. If you can't get it quite up high enough, use the hand to get it into position, and then from here, we're just going to hinge forward. I don't want you to collapse completely. Keep your chest upright, reach, come back, and then back down. Same thing on the other side. Kick it out. Notice that I'm not raising my entire hip. I'm trying to use the tiny little muscles deep in my hip socket to get this motion. Then I'm going to extend. Then I'm going to open up. Try to get it here. Like I said, if you're feeling tight, you can use the hand to get it, then we're reaching. So that's one on each side. Notice we're going nice and slow, kicking out, raising up. I'm trying to keep my torso as stable as possible. I don't want any excessive rotation to get me into this position like that. I want to try to stay as stable as possible. We're going in for the third one now on the right leg. Raising up, we're coming out, extending, opening that thigh up and that hip, getting the ankle to the thigh, hinging forward just for a second before we bring it back down. Same thing on the left one. Remember, just notice I'm having to really concentrate here. And then back to the start. We're going for the fourth one now, kicking out, extending, staying braced, bringing it to the start. You may find as you're doing this that you've got one side tighter than the other. If that's the case, spend a little more time there. So I'm a little tighter on this one, so I'm going to try to really focus on getting that hip as open as possible. And then I may stay here in this forward hinge just a couple more seconds than the other side. And then back to the start. All right, we got one more on each side. And last one on the left leg. Kicking out, extending, externally rotating that hip, and hinging forward. Excellent. Shake the legs out. Next, we're going to go to a thoracic windmill. So we're going to be seated still. What we're going to do is we're going to try to stay upright with our posture. I'm going to have both hands here. And then all I'm going to do is just open up. I'm following with my sight. I'm feeling a stretch through the chest. I'm alternating on each side. We're going to shoot for 5 on each side. You're feeling a contraction between your shoulder blades, opening of the chest, stretch through the front of the shoulders, all that good stuff. So let's go 1 on the right, opening up. I'm following it with my sight, trying to keep my chest up. Here's 2 on the right, left. 3, 4, inhale on the way down. Exhale as you come up. There's 4 on the left. Last one on the right. Last one on the left. Very nice. Shake it out one more time, and then all we've got left are some neck circles. So what we're going to do is nice upright posture. We're going to drop the neck first. We're going to rotate right ear to right shoulder, behind, left ear to left shoulder, back down. That's one. Going clockwise. Now let's go counterclockwise. So down, ear to shoulder, left ear to left shoulder, behind, right ear to right shoulder, chin down. There's one. Going each direction, we're doing 5. Go nice and slow. Start with smaller circles and work to bigger ones if you can. Notice I'm going nice and slow here. I'm not rushing it. I'm trying to take that neck through its active range of motion. If you need to, you can take a little pressure off of those neck muscles by elevating the shoulders a little bit. So if you're feeling too much tightness, give that a shot. Otherwise, you want to try to keep them down. All right, this is my 4th one, going full. So one more, going to the right. Left ear to left shoulder, back down. And the last one, going counterclockwise. Left ear to left shoulder, behind. Right ear to right shoulder, chin down. And then shake it out. And that is it for our seated full body mobility for today. So hopefully you enjoyed that. And be sure to check back for all the new upcoming stretch and mobility routines that we put out every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. All right, y'all, take care.